In 1759, deep in the French countryside, black slaves are forced to work on a sugarcane plantation run by a cruel landowner named Eugene. Among them is Mas Samba, the group's leader and Eugene's most trusted man. One day, Eugene calls Mas Samba and gives him strict instructions that the sugarcane must be harvested in 2 weeks, and the slaves need to work harder. Mas Samba agrees without question, but his loyalty makes others see him as a traitor who has abandoned his people. Later that night, Mas Samba spends a quiet moment with his daughter, Maddie. She begs him to escape. Maddie believes there's still hope and talks about Fabomi, a secret village where black people live free, but Mas Samba doesn't believe it. He says the place is just a myth. Just then, a guard passes by, dragging a bleeding slave who tried to run away. The warning is clear that if they make one wrong move, they could be next. This is the story of no chains, no masters. By morning, Eugene makes an example out of the two who try to flee. In front of everyone, the woman is burned with a hot iron and the man's ear is cut off. As the smell of burnt flesh spreads, Eugene tells Mas Samba to make it clear that anyone who tries to escape again will be killed. That night, Maddie seems to be possessed. Her body shakes and her eyes go blank. Quickly, Mas Samba says a prayer and drives the spirit away. When she wakes up, Maddie believes the spirit was a sign. A message telling them it's time to break free. She trusts her father's gift because everyone knows Mas Samba can speak to spirits. To Maddie, he's more than a leader. She believes he has the power to fight back, but Mas Samba doesn't feel the same. He tells her to focus on learning French because he believes that knowing the language could help her escape someday and become a seamstress. A few days later, Mas Samba is called to Eugene's mansion. A visiting governor wants answers about why so many slaves are trying to escape. Mas Samba hesitates, but finally says the slaves are exhausted, hurt, and treated like animals, but the governor doesn't care. He coldly says black people were made to serve white men. Mas Samba doesn't respond. He just stares at the governor without saying a word. That silent look of resistance angers the man. Eugene quickly interrupts, sends Mas Samba away, and tries to smooth things over. But the governor just laughs, saying Mas Samba is nothing more than a slave. After Mas Samba is sent away, Eugene's son Felix tells the governor that Mas Samba is different from the others and has worked hard and loyally for years. But the governor doesn't appreciate the comment. Offended, he leaves the estate and warns Eugene to teach his son better manners. Right after the governor leaves, Eugene slaps Felix and warns him to keep quiet. Then, showing no mercy, he removes Mas Samba from his position of trust and orders that Maddie must start working inside the house. Mas Samba is heartbroken but can't do anything to stop it. Later that day, back in the slave quarters, Mas Samba watches helplessly as guards arrive to take Maddie. Just when it seems like everything is lost, Maddie fights back. She escapes and runs into the forest. Hearing the noise, Mas Samba rushes over. One guard is already down, but before he can do anything, another guard points a weapon at him and forces him to back off. The next morning, panic spreads across the plantation. The guards report to Eugene that Maddie is still missing. Wasting no time, Eugene sends for a ruthless slave hunter named Madame Victoria. He also tells Felix to join the search. Felix agrees, but asks Maddie must not be hurt or killed. Eugene agrees, though his tone makes Felix uneasy. Shortly after, Mas Samba is dragged out in front of the other slaves and tortured. He refuses to say where Maddie went. As the others watch in silence, Victoria arrives with her 2 sons, Joseph and Baptiste. She immediately takes charge and questions Mas Samba, but he doesn't speak. Frustrated, Baptiste grabs one of the frightened women from the group. Scared for her life, she finally gives in. She tells them Maddie is headed to a place called Fabomi. With that information, Victoria, her sons, and Felix head straight into the forest. They follow her tracks and study the trail. After a while, Victoria notices the footprints suggest Maddie isn't traveling alone. Meanwhile, back at the plantation, Mas Samba is locked in a cage. The same woman who gave away Maddie walks by. Mas Samba pleads for her help, but she's too scared and keeps going. However, that night, something inside her finally breaks. She sneaks past the guard dogs, throws food to distract them, and once they fall asleep, she unlocks the cage and frees Mas Samba. By morning, Victoria stands at the top of a hill, unaware that Mas Samba has already entered the forest. He stops at a river, takes a drink, and finally pulls the iron chain off his head. Then, without delay, he keeps moving, determined to find his daughter. The next day, Ma Samba reaches the same hill where Victoria had stood earlier, but he doesn't know he's being watched. From a distance, her group spots him through a spyglass and quickly moves in to catch him. Meanwhile, Ma Samba keeps going through the forest, and suddenly, he meets another runaway named Barb. Barb welcomes him and takes him to a hidden shelter where his wife and baby are also hiding. Soon after, Victoria and her group get close to the forest area. Everything is quiet until Barb's baby suddenly cries out. The sound gives them away, and the hunters rush in. As they run, Barb tells his wife to stay hidden with the baby. He and Ma Samba turn back to hold off the hunters. Ma Samba agrees, and both prepare to defend themselves. During the fight, Ma Samba corners Baptiste and almost defeats him, but then Felix shows up and points a weapon at Ma Samba. He pleads with him to stop, promising that no one else will be hurt if he surrenders. Ma Samba hesitates, but deep down, he knows Felix is different from the others. He decides to trust him. Just then, Barb jumps in and knocks Felix to the ground before disappearing into the woods. In the chaos, Ma Samba looks at Baptiste and has the chance to kill him, but he chooses mercy and walks away. Later, while escaping, Ma Samba runs into another man named Bay, who also escaped from slavery. Bay leads him to a hidden cave and offers him shelter. Inside, Ma Samba finally gets a break and shares his story. Meanwhile, Victoria finds Felix lying injured and is shocked. Baptiste is heartbroken. He tells her they should stop. Ma Samba had the chance to kill him, but didn't. Holding Felix's body, Baptiste walks away, but Victoria and Joseph refuse to give up and continue the hunt. Not long after, they find the cave. Without warning, Joseph shoots Bay in the leg and demands to know where Ma Samba is, but Bay stays silent. Victoria then shoots him and kills him instantly. As they search the cave, they find a piece of Miss Samba's clothing. Victoria hands it to her tracking dog, which takes off into the forest. Later, Ma Samba reaches a fast-moving river and tries to cross, but the dog catches up and attacks. A fierce fight breaks out. Ma Samba finally kills the dog and pushes forward, refusing to give up. A few hours later, Victoria and Joseph notice blood on the trees. They're sure it belongs to Ma Samba and push forward, convinced they're getting close. Meanwhile, Ma Samba reaches a quiet and empty beach, but what he sees there is heartbreaking. All around him are the dead bodies of slaves who had tried to escape by boat. Fear and panic set in as he searches through the corpses, terrified he might find Maddie among them, but she's not there. Suddenly, Ma Samba spots a small group of survivors. He asks if they've seen his daughter, and to his surprise, they say yes. Right away, they lead him to her. When he finally sees Maddie, the reunion is full of emotion. Ma Samba hugs her tightly and tells her he'll go with her to find Fabomi. For the first time, Maddie sees her father believe that freedom is possible. Soon after, Victoria and Joseph arrive at the same beach, but they're too late. Ma Samba and Maddie are already hiding nearby. This time, Ma Samba makes a choice. He's done running, he's going to fight. Inside a hidden cave, he starts getting ready. He cuts himself and uses the blood to begin a ritual. As he calls on the spirits, a strange power rises inside him. His body grows stronger, and something ancient wakes up. Later that night, Victoria and Joseph are resting near a fire. Suddenly, Victoria senses something. She shoves Joseph just in time to avoid Miss Samba's surprise attack. They quickly grab their weapons and begin searching the area. In the darkness and heavy rain, Ma Samba moves silently through the forest. He's quick, careful, and focused. Then he strikes. Joseph never sees him coming. Victoria finds her son's lifeless body and loses control. She hides behind a tree, waiting for a chance. A lightning flash reveals Miss Samba's spot, and she fires, but when she runs over, he's no longer there. Suddenly, he appears behind her. By morning, Maddie finds Ma Samba still alive, but barely. They keep moving through the woods until night comes. Ma Samba grows weaker and finally collapses. Maddie cries and begs him not to leave her, holding him and pleading through her tears. The next day, help finally arrives. A group of black villagers finds them. They explain that this forest is home to a real hidden village, just like in the stories. They carry Ma Samba to a healer. Days later, Ma Samba is slowly healing. He sits beside Maddie in a cave with the villagers. Together, they share their story, the pain they've felt, the path they've taken, and the hope they carry. The villagers welcome them with kindness and open arms. But one night, gunshots ring out. The soldiers have found them. Chaos breaks out. Everyone runs, including Ma Samba and Maddie. They reach the edge of a steep cliff. Below them, waves crash hard against the rocks. There's no way to escape. Surrounded, the commander of the soldiers makes an offer. surrender, and the government will be lenient. Ma Samba stands firmly and says with confidence that they are not slaves. They just want to live in freedom. At that moment, Maddie starts singing a traditional song. Then, one by one, the villagers begin to sing along with her. Their voices come together, creating a strong and moving chorus that grows louder and more powerful with each line. Then, in one last act of freedom, the villagers jump from a cliff. They would rather die than live in chains. Ma Samba and Maddie are the last to jump. Holding hands, with peace in their hearts, they leap, free at last. And that's where the movie ends. So the moral of the story is, sometimes freedom only comes after the deepest pain and the hardest goodbyes.